Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Christy Press, your hometown realtor, and today I'm going to break down the numbers for you for Galt, California. Is it a good time to buy? We're going to talk about average home prices, days on market, whether homes are selling for over, for under, for asking, and what's the price range that is most competitive for buyers right now. And as well, let's get into a little bit of what a monthly payment would be for what the median prices are. So I'm going to break it all down for you guys. If you guys find this valuable and like being here, I would love for you guys to subscribe. So let's get into it. Today, what's the average home price right now in Galt? Anybody know? It's about $470 to $560. And I gotta tell you, that is quite a big range, but Galt, as you know, is a smaller town outside of Sacramento. If you go down a little south from Elk Grove, and if you go a little north of Lodi, right? A lot of people know Lodi as wine country. So, homes are generally selling in the high 400s to mid 500s today, more affordable than most areas in Sacramento. And these are going to be the homes in town, mostly on the west side. The east side is having a lot of growth as far as new builds out there. There's Meritage, there is Elliott Homes, and of course those start around the mid 500s and go all the way to mid 700s. I do know that the Elliott Homes out there have just built a beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. It's a 2-story, but it also has a multi-generational suite connected to it, which I think is fabulous because there are so many people, so many families living together. So really great out there. So a lot on the west side. So these are going to be mostly homes that are, being sold by sellers, not by builders, just to let you guys know. How much have prices increased or decreased in the last 12 months? Well, I've got a little data here. Year-over-year pricing changes are showing a small downward trend, right? We're not in the big hype still of all of the COVID-ness, right? So we're 6 years out from that, you guys. Galt homes have ticked slightly lower compared to a year ago. So buyers might actually be entering at a better price level than they would have a year or 2 years ago. I think that that's a great thing. I know that some of the, online realtors, Zillows, Redfins, all of those are kind of showing prices downward to about 6.9% year over year. So again, it's a definitely buyer's market where buyers have the opportunity and the time to take a look at properties and make sure that they're buying the best property for what their needs are instead of being frantic to hurry up and buy a home because of so many offers on a home. Are homes selling over asking or under? So Galt sale to list price ratio is about 99%. What does that tell me? Number one, it tells me that sellers are pricing their home correctly, or for the most part, very well. I like to tell sellers to price about 3% less than the market to be able to get the foot traffic in, to allow all buyers to come in and take a look. If you're overpricing your home, buyers are not going to come in, right? That's just, if you're going to be that aggressive, we're in the wrong market for that. And again, that comes to the sellers, that comes to the agent that's helping the seller, having those good, strong conversations of what is the market going on for their home, what are the comparables for their home, and what is this that's going to sell the home. If your home doesn't sell, it's because of price, 99% of the time. Okay. And buyers know that, right? So there isn't an aggressive over asking bidding competition that we've seen in the last few years. That's for sure. Homes are typically selling near their list price. And I think that's great for that whole town out here, because what that's saying is we are doing something right as far as getting homes on the market correctly, which I think is great. The average sale days on market is about 65 to 66 days. So some of the other, sometimes people look at Redfin and Zillow and Realtor, and I like to address those because sometimes people think that those are the absolute gold, and not necessarily. They go off of completely different algorithms, I would say. So if you want to know straight the source, go to an agent, and go to an agent that knows what's going on in the market. Homes in Galt are sitting on the market longer than a year ago. That means buyers, that gives you a bit more time to decide, right? That gives you a little more time to go, what is it about this house that I love? What is it that I don't? But I really like this. You'll hear me talk to you a lot about lifestyle. What is your lifestyle and where can I get you in a home that fits your lifestyle? You know, Galt is not the hustle bustle. It's a smaller town. It's a community town. It's just moments away from the freeway. It's also moments away from, you know, a dairy or farmland with horses. And what is your lifestyle, and is this the place for you to be and raise the kids or start a family or downsize? Those are the types of things that I always will talk to you guys about. Another question I do get from buyers are sellers giving concessions? And I would say this isn't something that's directly published, right? Like, oh yes, sellers are giving X amount of dollars, you know, standardly. That's not how that works. Buyers can typically negotiate repairs. They can negotiate closing costs. And sometimes price, because the frenzy has eased. We're not in this crazy, you know, if I ask for something, they're going to cancel on me because they've got 7 other offers. You know, sellers are willing to negotiate reasonable requests, reasonable repairs with inspections that have been made. And I think when you have good agents that are representing you as well as the seller, I think everybody wins in that situation. And for me as an agent, that is my number one priority, is to represent who I'm representing, whether buyer or seller, but at the same time to make sure that everybody wins. Because if everybody feels as though they're winning and getting something from the transaction, it makes it so much easier and everybody is happier, and the sellers are happy to have sold and the buyers are happy to have bought, and it's a mutual, beautiful relationship. And I think that those are the things that come into play with agents, right? That we do all of that heavy lifting for you and make sure that you are happy as well as the other side. A lot of people have asked too, you know, rates are starting to come down. This week they've just come down, gosh, I think it's at like 5.99. I know my lender is getting no points, 5.75. FHA and VA now are 5.5. So those are all great. But sometimes people have said, you know, well, what if I wait a little longer? Because maybe they'll come down to the 4s, or maybe they'll come down to the 3s. Like back in COVID, they were at 2, and that's not going to happen, you guys. I think waiting may save you a bit in price, but you risk having the interest rates increase as well. I mean, interest rates can always do this. We can do our best to watch those, right? But the other thing that you're going to come into is competition, okay? If interest rates are coming down, you are not the only buyer that is looking to get into the market, right? Everybody wants to take advantage of getting that lower rate that they feel is the best rate that they could do right now, and it fits their budget and the payment fits their budget. Guess what? More buyers are coming in the market. So now you're going to be competing with more people, continuing to wait, right? So if the right time to buy is the right time for you. Is it time for you to move? Is it time for you to upsize, downsize? Is it your first home and you're ready and you've been saving and you've been at your job for however long and you're ready to make that plunge, right? And do the American dream of owning your own home, then that's the right time, right? And we can always find a loan program that fits custom to you. Again, I have the most incredible lender with many, many programs that has helped out so many of my clients. So that is when the best time is, just to let you guys know. What price ranges are getting the most competition is something that I've been asked actually just last week. Am I in that price range where everybody else is at? And the price range, honestly, for Galt is $400,000 to $550,000. That's the competitive, most inventory, most buyer activity. That's where everybody kind of is at. And a lot of that is first-time home buyers, so ones that are using FHA. Also our veterans. I mean, don't leave out the veterans, you know, finally being able to purchase a home with their VA. And those are things that's their first home. That's where they want to be. And that's the comfortable house payment, right? We're going to talk about that here in just a second. So homes around the 4 to 550s tend to get the more action from the buyers, just to let you guys know here in Galt. Now, what does that look like? What does my monthly payment look like? So I'm going to go off of 7% interest just to kind of keep it on the higher side, but more, you know, you just never know. Prices went down to 5.99, but they could go back up to 6 1/8. I mean, so you have some flexibility, but if you do 20% down on what you're talking about, I mean, those kinds of things, I think we'll do 20%, okay, at 7%. So if you buy a home at $400,000 and you have a loan amount of $320, your payment is going to be about $2,130, so $2,130. Okay, if you buy a home at $500,000 and you put down $100,000, that's a loan amount of $400,000, and your house payment would be $2,660. And a $600,000, you put down $120, which is 20%. So your loan amount is $480,000. Okay, your monthly payment is $3,190. Now, these approximates that I'm giving to you do not include taxes and do not include your insurance. Okay, so this is just your PMI, so your principal and interest of the loan. Don't forget, if you happen to be in an area where there's Melrose, don't forget if there's an area that you're in where they have an HOA, make sure to talk to the agent. And if you're working with me, I will already tell you that before we even make the offer, to know exactly what that payment will look like. But that gives you a little bit of information on there. A lot of people don't even do or want to do 20% anymore. There's programs with 3%, 5%, 10%. There's even programs where you have down payment assistance. So these could be a little bit higher, but if you could get into a home at 3% for $2,500 or $2,600, I mean, that's amazing. So at today's rates, here's what your monthly payment looks like with Galt. And, I think that the great part with this is Galt is only minutes away from Elk Grove, 10 minutes. It's 25 minutes from Sacramento, but you also are able to have a home that you can have more affordability with in a great small town with a lot of community. So if you're thinking about moving to Galt, the real numbers from prices and competition to what your monthly payment would actually be, I think, is where you need to focus. What fits your lifestyle, right? Homes are selling around the listing price. There's not a bunch of frenzies. Days on market are a little slower, so it's giving you guys much more time as buyers. Negotiation leverage is reasonable. It's not something that had happened before where again, people are still kind of stuck in that COVID mindset where you couldn't even ask for something because they would just say no and move to the next thing. We are not there anymore, guys. We are not there. There is negotiations that happen. If you guys find that this was helpful, I am so thankful that you did. A Galt market is so balanced right now, which means it's just opportunity for smart buyers. But the key is understanding this, the price ranges, the competition, the negotiations, days on market, what your payment would be. And that's why your hometown realtor is here, is to give you guys all the information so you can make the best decision possible. So if you're thinking about moving to Galt at any time, 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, I'm your girl. I'm here for you guys. I would love to set up a plan for you. I'd love to help you get a strategy tailored specifically to you. So you guys call me, text me, send me a pigeon carrier. I don't even care. I would love to hear from you guys. If you found this helpful, please make sure you subscribe because I do put out weekly updates with Galt market, neighborhoods, daycares, schools, anything you guys want to know. I'm your girl and I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one.